Hi third grade and any friends who might be joining us. Today we are actually going to be starting another chapter type book. And so this will be broken up into several videos just like I'm doing with Wonder. So the book that we are going to read is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck. And this is by Jeff Kinney. Now there are many Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. This was just one of them that I found in our classroom library. And I do want to give a shout out before we start to Clayton in our class because he actually suggested that I read a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book on my channel. So thank you, Clayton, and I hope that everyone enjoys this book. Now, in this book, there are several pictures, and I will be turning the book to show you, and you might want to pause the video when it gets to that so you can look at the pictures, and some of them have little word bubbles that you might be able to read. So I just wanted to make sure to let you know that I will turn those around so you can see them, but you might want to pause them so you can look a little bit and read what's in the bubbles. All right. So this one starts in March, and it's on a Monday we're starting with. Mom's always saying that friends will come and go, but family is forever. Well, if that's true, I could be in for a rough ride. I mean, I love my family and all, but I'm just not sure we're meant to live together. Maybe it'll be better later on when we are all in different houses and only see each other on holidays. But right now, things are just a little dicey. I'm surprised Mom's always pushing the family message since she and her sisters don't really get along. Maybe she thinks if she keeps repeating it to me and my brothers, then we'll come out different. But if I was her, I wouldn't hold my breath. I think Mom is just trying to make me feel better about my situation with Rowley anyway. Rowley's been my best friend ever since he moved into my neighborhood, but things have really changed between us recently. And it's all because of a girl. Believe me, the last person in the world I ever thought would get a girlfriend was Rowley. I always thought I'd be the one in a relationship and Rowley would be the guy everyone kind of felt sorry for. I guess I've got to give Rowley some credit for actually finding a girl who likes him, but I don't have to be happy about it. Back in the good old days, it was just me and Rowley and we hung out and did whatever we wanted. If we felt like blowing bubbles in our chocolate milk at lunch, then that's exactly what we did. But now that there's a girl in the picture, things are totally different. Wherever Rowley is, his girlfriend Abigail is too. And even if she isn't there, it seems like she is. I invited Rowley to my house for a sleepover last weekend so the two of us could spend some time together, but after about 2 hours, I gave up trying to have any fun. And when the two of them are in the same place, it's even worse. Ever since Rowley and Abigail got together, it's like Rowley doesn't even have his own opinions anymore. I was hoping this would have blown over by now and things would be back to normal, but there's no sign of this ending anytime soon. If you ask me, it's already gone too far. I've started noticing little changes in Rowley, like the way he combs his hair and the clothes he wears, and I guarantee you Abigail is behind all of it. But I'm the one who's been best friends with Rowley all these years, so if anyone has the right to change him, it's me. I just don't get how you can go from being someone's best friend to getting kicked to the curb, but that's exactly what happened. During the winter, me and Rowley stored up some snowballs in my freezer so we would have a snowball fight when the weather got warm. Well, yesterday was the first nice day we've had in forever, but when I went over to Rowley's house, he acted like he was too good for me. The thing is, I can honestly say I've been nice to Abigail, but she doesn't like me. She's been trying to drive a wedge between me and Rowley ever since the two of them became a couple. But whenever I try to bring the topic up to Rowley, I get the same thing every time. So he's saying, you're just jealous. So that's what he gets every time. Raleigh just says, you're just jealous. I wish I could give Raleigh a piece of my mind, but I can't because I'm depending on him to get me through the school year. I have Mr. Blakely for English, and he makes us turn in all our assignments in cursive. But it really hurts my hand when I write in cursive for too long, so I've been paying Raleigh 1 peanut butter cracker for every page that he transcribes for me. But if I have to start writing my own assignments, the handwriting on my homework won't be the same as before, and Mr. Blakely will know. So I'm stuck with Raleigh at least until I can find someone who can print exactly like him and who also likes peanut butter crackers. But the biggest problem with this Abigail situation isn't the English homework. It's the walk to school. Me and Raleigh used to head in together every morning, but now Raleigh goes over to Abigail's neighborhood and walks to school with her. This is an issue for a couple of reasons. For one, me and Raleigh have a deal where he's in charge of scouting ahead for dog poop on the sidewalk, and that arrangement has saved me a bunch of times. There's this one dog that really has it in for me and Raleigh, and we have to keep our guard up whenever we pass by his house. He's a really mean Rottweiler named Rebel, and he used to get out of his yard and chase us on our way to school. Rebel's owner had to install an electric fence to make sure that he wouldn't get loose. Now Rebel can't chase us because he takes one step out of his yard, he'll get a shock from his collar. Ever since me and Raleigh found out about Rebel's electric collar, we've been having some fun with him. But Rebel figured out that as long as his collar doesn't cross the property line, he won't get shocked. And if I didn't have Raleigh watching out for me, I definitely would have stepped on one of Rebel's landmines by now. The other reason it stinks that Raleigh isn't walking with me is because with the school year winding down, the teachers have really been loading us up with homework lately. That means I have to take almost all my books home with me every day. My body's not built to carry that kind of weight, but Raleigh's is practically like a pack animal, so it's no problem for him. Unfortunately, Raleigh is just as willing to help Abigail with her books, which makes me think the only reason she's even with him is to use him. And as Raleigh's good friend, I find that a little hard to take. Tuesday. I figured out a pretty good solution for my book problem. This morning I borrowed the roller bag Dad used when he goes on trips, and carrying all my school stuff was no sweat. I was able to make pretty good time too, but that's partially because I walked a little extra fast when I went by Mr. Sandoval's house. Before a snowstorm, Mr. Sandoval always puts poles in the ground on either side of his driveway so the guy who plows it knows where the pavement is. The last time it snowed, me and Raleigh plucked the poles out of Mr. Sandoval's yard and started horsing around with them. But I guess we didn't put the sticks back in exactly the right place because when the guy came to plow Mr. Sandoval's driveway, he was off by about 10 feet. Mr. Sandoval has been waiting for me and Raleigh to show our faces in front of his house again so he can let us have it. But I'm not ready for that conversation just yet, especially not by myself. Mr. Sandoval's not the only danger between my house and school, though. Ever since they started doing construction on Grandma Street, we've had to take a detour on the walk home, and that brings us right by the woods where the Mingo kids hang out. Sorry, I'm starting to hear thunder and see lightning, so I was getting a little distracted. I don't actually know a whole lot about the Mingo kids. I've never seen any of them in school. So for all I know, they just live in the woods like a pack of wild animals. I'm not even sure if there are any parents or grown-ups in the whole Mingo clan. I've heard their leader is a boy named Meckley, who always wears a tank top and a belt with a gigantic metal buckle on it. One time, me and Raleigh got too close to the woods and one of the Mingo kids came out to let us know. I'm not sure what he meant by that. He said, "You come near our woods again, Meckley's gonna get you." That's what he said here. So I'm still not sure what he meant by that, but if Meckley's belt buckle was gonna be involved in any way, I didn't want to stick around to find out. Now that I'm walking home on my own, I have to cross to the other side of the street when I get near the Mingo's woods. It wouldn't be a big deal except there's no sidewalk over there, and that can't be good for Dad's roller bag. Mom noticed I haven't been hanging out with Rowley lately. She said I shouldn't get too worked up over it because most friendships from childhood don't last, and that me and Rowley will probably grow apart over the years anyway. Well, I hope that's not true because I think it's important for me to keep my childhood friends so that later on someone can appreciate how far I've come. I'm not so sure Mom's qualified to give me friendship advice anyway because guy friends are totally different from girl friendships. And I know because I've read almost every single book in the Slumber Party Pals series. Before you judge me and say those books are for girls, let me just explain that the only reason I got into them was because one time I forgot to bring in a book for silent reading, and the only book the teacher had were in the Slumber Party Pals series. And once you've heard one of them, you can't stop. There must be something like 100 books in that series. The first 30 or so were pretty good, but after that, I think the author started running out of ideas. Anyway, in the Slumber Party Pals books, these two friends are always getting into fights with each other about little stuff. You used up all my purple lip gloss because you knew I wanted to wear it to the roller rink. Well, you only wanted to wear it because you knew Justin would be there. But after a while, things always cool down and the girls learn the true meaning of friendship. I'm sorry I used your lip gloss. And I'm sorry I kissed Justin at the roller rink. Wait, what? And that's basically the plot of every single book in the Slumber Party Pals series. Well, that might be the way things work with girls, but I can tell you firsthand that it's not the way it works with boys. For boys, things are just a lot less complicated. For example, let's say one guy breaks something that belongs to another guy, but it's totally an accident. Well, 5 seconds later, everybody's moved on, and the things are pretty much back to normal. I don't know if that means guys are less sophisticated than girls or whatever, but I do know that the way we do things sure saves a lot of time and energy. Friday. I hate to say it, but Mom's prediction about me and Rowley is starting to come true. Ever since Abigail and Rowley got together, Abigail has been sitting at our lunch table, which is all boys. I already mentioned how she's not a fan of chocolate milk bubble blowing thing, but there's a lot of other stuff she doesn't like either. One of them is the 5-second rule. All the guys at our table agree that if you drop a piece of food on the floor, as long as you pick it up within 5 seconds, it's still okay to eat. A new twist someone came up with recently is that you can grab a piece of food off the floor even if you're not the one who actually dropped it. I've lost 2 chocolate chip cookies and a fudgesicle. That's that way already. This new rule has caused some other problems though. Yesterday, Freddie Harlahan ate a piece of ham off the floor because he thought Carl Dumas dropped it, but it was actually there from the group that had lunch before us. It might have even been there from before that because Freddie started to feel sick and ended up in the nurse's office for the rest of the day. Something tells me they don't have the 5-second rule at the table Abigail used to sit at, or probably any other girls' tables either. Another thing I'll bet is that they don't have French Fry Fridays. They serve burgers in the cafeteria every Friday, but the meat is gray and tastes like a wet sponge. Plus, they serve sweet potato fries now instead of regular French fries. But Nolan, Tiago's mom, works part-time in the library, and every Friday she brings Nolan a cheeseburger and fries from the fast food place around the corner. Nolan eats his fries, but he always lets the rest of us have whatever falls into the bag. And I've seen kids practically come to blows over a few cold French fries. We decided the only way to prevent someone from getting hurt was to split the fries up evenly, so we brought in Alex Aruda to divvy them and give everyone an equal number. The rest of us keep an eye on Alex to make sure he's not taking any extra for himself. Some kids eat all their fries at once, but I nibble mine real slow to make them last as long as possible. But no matter how many fries we get, it's never enough. Today, there were only 3 fries in the bag. We had to split them 10 ways. So you had a couple of kids paying Nolan a dime each just to smell the fries on his breath. And I think that's what made Abigail finally decide to look for another place to sit. When Abigail moved to a different table, she took Raleigh with her. But that's fine with me because it means more French fries for the rest of us. Abigail and Raleigh moved to the couples table, which is the only place in the whole cafeteria where there's still room to sit. After the Valentine's Day dance, almost all the couples in our grade broke up, so Raleigh and Abigail didn't have any trouble finding a spot. The reason the couples have a whole table all to themselves is because no one else can stand to be around them. Let me just say that you couldn't pay me to sit and watch Abigail feed Raleigh his pudding every day. The second that Raleigh and Abigail left our table, 2 guys slid right into the empty spots. There aren't enough seats in the cafeteria for all the kids in our lunch period, so there's actually a line to get one. If you didn't get a seat on the first day of school, you were out of luck. There are some kids who have been waiting since September, and they'll probably still be waiting for a seat on the last day of school. I feel pretty lucky. I got a seat because the people who didn't get one have to find a place to sit anywhere they can. The kids in the middle of the line have pretty much given up hope that they're going to get a seat. So some of them have started selling their spots to kids behind them. I heard that Brady Connor sold his position at the number 15 spot to Glenn Harris, who was 1 spot back for $5 and an ice cream sandwich. Unfortunately for me, the 2 kids in front of the line were Earl Drummel and his twin brother Andy, and they took Abigail and Raleigh's spots. Earl and Andy have phys ed right before lunch, and those guys both fake their gym showers just like I do. Even though I sit at the table with a bunch of guys, I wouldn't call any of them actual friends, because when we head outside to recess, we all go our separate ways. I used to hang out with Raleigh during recess, but those days are over. It's probably time for me to strike out on my own. But the problem is, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. First of all, there are some kids I have to watch out for on the playground. A few years ago, Mom invited a bunch of classmates to my birthday party, but she thought I already had enough toys, and she said so on the invitation. Usually, when you open presents at your birthday party, all the other kids are jealous, but at my party, I think people just felt sorry for me. Unfortunately, Mom's idea caught on with a bunch of other moms in our neighborhood, and nowadays I have to be careful whenever I see a kid walking around at recess carrying a new book. Then there's Leon Feast and his gang. I got into a situation with those guys a few summers ago, and there's been bad blood between us ever since. One day, me and Raleigh went down to the school to ride our bikes on the basketball court, but Leon and his friends showed up a few minutes later. They told us that they were going to have to leave so they could play that we were going to have to leave so they could play basketball. I told Leon we could make a compromise and they could have one half of the court and we could ride our bikes on the other. But they didn't like that idea and gave us the boot. On the ride home, I was really mad that we let ourselves get pushed around like that. And I wanted to do something about it. A few days later, Mom asked me out of the blue if I wanted her to sign me up for Superhero Training Academy. She showed me the flyer and I was sold. I couldn't wait to graduate from the Superhero Training Academy and show Leon and his gang a thing or two. Raleigh's mom signed him up too, and we were both pretty excited about it, but on the first day I realized it was a total scam. First of all, the Superhero Training Academy was in the gymnastics room at the YMCA and not some secret bunker underneath the building. When I found out the whole superpower part was a joke. So me and Riley were stuck in a day camp for a week while our moms ran errands, and at the end we didn't even get masks or costumes or anything cool like that. We just got these stupid certificates. A few weeks later, we went down to the school on our bikes again, and sure enough, Leon and his friends were on the basketball court. But I guess I should have given Riley the heads up that this superhero training was totally worthless. It's going to storm. Aside from the kids I need to avoid like Leon, there are a few different groups that hang out together at recess, but I don't think I really fit in with any of them. There are some kids who play a fantasy card game and another group who just hangs out and reads. Then there's a group that plays on the field. A few months ago, the school banned any games that involved a ball because too many kids were getting hurt. So these guys made up a game where somebody's shoe is the ball, but don't even ask me what the point of the game is. Eric Glick hangs out with his sketchy friends behind the school where the teachers can't see them. I've heard that if you want to buy an old book report or homework assignment, he's the guy to talk to. The girls hang out in groups too. There's one that jumps rope near the side of the school and another that does hopscotch 50 feet away. I've heard the two groups don't get along, but I have no idea what that's all about. I'll tell you the group I wish I could join, and that's the girls who hang out near the cafeteria door and gossip about everybody who walks by. I've tried to slip into that group before, but it's pretty clear outsiders aren't welcome. Looks like Lori got a fancy new haircut, as if that makes up for her tacky earrings, as if, and that's him. The only place where boys and girls hang out together is on the playground. Some of the kids have started playing Girls Chase Boys, which was a big thing back in elementary school. I've tried to get in on that Girls Chase Boys game over the years, but most of the girls are only interested in chasing the popular guys like Bryce Anderson. Ever so often, during Girls Chase Boys, somebody will yell out and flip the whole game. Boys chase girls! It goes back and forth like that until the bell rings and it's time to go inside. The only problem with that game is they never say what you're supposed to do when you actually catch someone. I remember the time in 5th grade when we were playing Boys Chase Girls and I caught Kara Punter fair and square. Kara reported me to the playground monitor, who made me sit against the wall for the rest of recess. I'm pretty sure the school called my parents too. I think the school realized there are some kids who have trouble joining in with others at recess, so a few weeks ago they turned a bully reporting station on the playground into a Find a Friend station. I always thought the Find a Friend station was a lame idea, but it's not like I have a lot of options these days. I don't know if people didn't notice the blue light going off or if everyone was too busy playing Girls Chase Boys, but no kids came over. I think Mr. Nern must have felt sorry for me because he walked over with a box of checkers. I guess it was better than nothing, but I hope Mr. Nern doesn't think this is going to be a regular thing. And I think we will stop there for today. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed the first little bit of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck. This is, I believe they are in middle school, so that's why it was talking about kind of like back in elementary school and all that. So they are a little bit older than us. But I hope that you are staying happy and healthy, and I am sure getting ready to go back to school. I am getting kind of tired of being cooped up at home. But I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again. But until then, I will keep posting these videos so that you can hear me and you can see me and we can read together. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye.